Hello there guys, welcome back to Younes Talks Football, welcome back to a brand new video. I hope all of you are doing well today as we get into double upload. It's happening. We've already had quite a bit go down this morning and I'm going to give my thoughts on that, and then by later on I'm sure there's going to be more, so make sure that you guys are here for that. In order to be here for that, make sure that you are hitting the subscribe button, hit the notification bell to be notified once I've uploaded. Much appreciated. Let's get cracking with what went down last night first, right? Let's play a little bit of catch up. We're going to talk on Afcon very quickly first, because Ghana played Egypt after the Ivory Coast played Nigeria, where Nigeria got a 1-0 win, and we spoke about that in last night's video. But yesterday, at the end, it was Ghana versus Egypt, and this finished 2-2. I had this as a 2-0 win to Egypt, I'm not going to lie, but Ghana started to impress as the game went on, and when Kudus got his first goal, what a goal, by the way, what a goal. But quite incredible how we managed to get the equaliser, and then the second goal for Ghana, and then the second goal for Egypt in the space of what? Like this. The game went from 0 to 100 real quick. So look, defensively, I think there's questions for both, but what a game. The African football as a whole, I don't think there's a more volatile type of football that you can find aside from African football. It doesn't exist, I don't think. It's so up and down like crazy. You'd almost think it was a crypto coin. But it's not. Afcon, absolutely wonderful tournament so far. Let me know your thoughts down below. But Egypt are not in a great position if we're being real. Neither are Ghana. Egypt have picked up 2 points out of 2 games, and Ghana have picked up 1 point out of 2 games. So it's looking a bit mad for the both of them. We'll see how this one's going to end on the third match day, but let me know your thoughts. There was one thing yesterday that went down, though, that has had significant implications for what's going on in the Premier League. And it's this: Mo Salah. Massive blow for Egypt. Salah is off with an apparent injury. We had Jurgen Klopp confirm today that he spoke with Mo last night. He felt it. We all know how rarely Mo goes off, so it's definitely something. It depends what the diagnosis is. And yeah, he's injured. And it's looking like a hamstring, or it's looking like something in and around that region. So he could be out for a few weeks, even past Afcon. And for Liverpool, chances are Liverpool versus Chelsea at Anfield, Salah might not be there now. Just saying. So, what's this going to do for Liverpool's title race? Because they're in the title race, 100%. But Man City are probably looking at this, licking their lips. You know, KDB's just come back and Mo Salah's getting injured. Wow. Talk about everything swinging in your favour. So, let's see how bad it is. If it's not bad, then Liverpool have gotten away with one. But Egypt are in a little bit of trouble if they're losing Mo Salah, and they're still not clear in terms of qualifying for the next stage. So, let me know your thoughts down below. Let's move to the transfer news and the club latest and what's happening. And I've seen one thing, and I just need to discuss the direction. I don't know, is it the direction football's going in, or I don't know. But we're going to get into the latest on Antonio NUSA. Weird one. Let's get into it. Talks are taking place between Tottenham and Club Brugge for talent Antonio NUSA. There's no formal bid yet, but deal on, as HLN reported. Understand NUSA doesn't want to leave in January. Deal could be done now, but for the summer. Many clubs are keen. Spurs are now pushing. This is a follow-up on, a follow-up on what went down last window, but we've also had implications for this window, and apparently things are going on as per Ben Jacobs. If we're following up from that news from Fabrizio in relation to Tottenham, Chelsea apparently are involved. Check this out. So from Ben Jacobs saying Antonio NUSA has been discussed internally this window at Chelsea. The Blues did try for him last summer. Spurs are in talks over a move for him. Look, I almost don't know what to feel about this, because Antonio NUSA is a decent player. He looks decent. But he's 18. Honestly, you know what? You know what Chelsea have done to me? Chelsea, now, what they've done to me is I now look at all these young players that are 16, 17, 18, and I'm going, yeah, you might be good, but I'm not interested. That's what they've done to me. And best believe, there are some gems that are 18 and 17. You best believe there are. You know, there's some players that you can just see. It's just, wow, this player is flipping amazing. But it does happen. But they've just turned me off. Chelsea have just turned me off from it. I don't want it. Antonio NUSA could be, I don't know, a Eden Hazard regen at 17, right? He's 18, but you get my gist. But you could get a young player that looks like he is flipping Eden Hazard on steroids, and I'd still be turned off. That's just my... And you know what's going on? I feel like there's a lot of attention now on these young players, and they're just... I have to be honest, I honestly think it's overhyping. Mate, let these players grow, man. Let these players have a beginning of their career before you just throw them into the limelight as the next best thing. Like, relax. There are some players, like I've said, there are some players that just explode, right? At that age, they do. You know, if we're talking about a Vinicius, for example. Do you know what I mean? Like, or there are players that at that age, but that explode. But for me, they're rare. They're not. It's not everybody. We now have an emphasis like, oh no, we got to find the next 17-year-old. Like, it has to be done. But no, for Tottenham, perhaps for Tottenham, maybe. You know, because that's Tottenham. If we're being honest, they're not a club that really puts themselves into position for fighting for silverware. But what they do is sometimes they do end up getting young players. They do end up looking somewhat decent, and then they do end up making business or, you know, trying to keep those best players perhaps. And then you find that at Tottenham, they maybe just stagnate and then they don't go any further. It does happen. It does happen. But for a club that wants to compete for silverware, for titles, for all of this, listen, if you've got enough young players that you trust, end it there. End it there, man. So look, with Antonio NUSA, like I've said, who's done well for Club Brugge. I think has played 60 times for them and has had 36, I think, games or somewhere around there at senior level for Club Brugge. We're already talking about 40 million and honestly, like I've said, if this was an isolated incident, right, an isolated interest, this 18-year-old called Antonio NUSA, check him out, I'd probably look at him and go, okay, maybe. But for Chelsea, we've been scouting for every single 16, 17, 18-year-old that exists. I've had enough. I've had enough. So look, let's see what goes down here. But apparently it's been discussed internally at Chelsea. Again, even if we're just talking in terms of position, what are we doing? He's a winger / attacking mid, perhaps. But I don't understand. I don't get it. Let me know your thoughts down below, honestly. There's the whole... like I've said, do you feel the same? Or are you different? Do you just still are looking for the next 18-year-old? Because for me, I'm done with that. I feel like I don't want to entertain that any longer. That's just me, though. So everyone's different. So let me know down below. It'd be interesting to see your perception. As a Chelsea fan, if you're a non-Chelsea fan, keep doing what you're doing, you know. But as a Chelsea fan, we've absolutely obliterated the youth market that I have had enough. I've had enough. So let me know your thoughts. Now, this is where we're talking serious. This is what I'm talking about. If you want to try and put yourself into a contention for titles, right? This is the sort of business you need to be doing, yeah? And it's nice to hear that Chelsea are in the same bracket as this player now, right? Fantastic. The fact that they're in the same sentence makes me happy, right? Let's get into it. Matt Law. Alphonso Davies' transfer fee wouldn't put Chelsea off in the summer, but I'd imagine he'd command a big wage which might put Chelsea off. Would you take Davies at Chelsea? Alphonso Davies of Bayern Munich. Listen, if you want to be serious, this is the sort of player you go for. Simple as that. And like I've said before, listen, you want players of this caliber? You pay salary, mate. You ain't getting this player for 100k a week. You're not. So do you want the player or not? You want the player? Cool. Here's 200k. Thank you very much. Now, how much is he actually on at the moment? I'm actually going to look this up because I've not actually checked in terms of what he's on per week. 216,000 euros, right? Okay, not a problem. 260. That's gross, by the way. That's gross. That's not net. So listen. If that's the case, right? Cool, not a problem. Although somewhere else is saying that he's earning 132 grand a week. I'm not so sure. Somewhere else is saying 186 grand. Oh, no, that makes sense. Yeah, 186,000 pounds makes sense. That is accurate to 216,000 euros. Cool, not a problem. Here's 200,000. Come to Chelsea. You're getting an increase and you're playing at Chelsea now. If we're serious, right, for a player of this caliber, this is what you got to do. You have to pay that salary. If not, you're not getting those sort of players. And right now, more than ever, we're in a situation where we need these type of players. We're having the whole debate of left back and what's going on. All right, cool. Get Alphonso Davies. We won't have to talk about left back ever again. Simple as that. We won't have to. So this is the sort of caliber that you're looking if you want to operate at a serious level. Yeah? This is it. I feel like, okay, you've invested in the youth. You've done all of this on terms of your strategy and all that. Cool. Now, can we please get some caliber into this squad? That way we can up the levels, please. Alphonso Davies, thank you very much. That's the pedigree that I'm looking for. So, and not just at left back. I'm talking the entire spine needs to be shifted. So, would you take Alphonso Davies? I don't feel like much of you will say no. So let me know down below. Much appreciated. Now, this is interesting. This is interesting because we're talking about Alphonso Davies and now we're talking about this. Bayern Munich apparently looking at this, although he's a right back, but still a full back that can play left back, but there's interest. So what's going on with Kieran Trippier? Bayern Munich have added Newcastle United's Kieran Trippier to their right-back shortlist this month. He's a serious candidate. Bayern feel Trippier is more attainable than PSG's Nordi Mukiele. Newcastle are also open to offers for the 33-year-old as they look to generate additional revenue to comply with the Premier League's profit and sustainability rules. Listen, this whole profit and sustainability rule is just going to kill the Premier League off, I think. This is just, you know what? Kieran Trippier, 33 years old. I think it's a good time for Newcastle to look to revamp that position and not have to rely on a Trippier. Absolutely. But, yeah. Bayern Munich, interested in Trippier? I find that, look, for a 33-year-old, I find that a bit bizarre. Unless if Bayern Munich are trying to find a stopgap for now and then possibly go back into the market later, which is a possibility. But you'd think Bayern Munich would be able to look for some top quality and attract them. Anyway, not to say Trippier is decent. He's decent. But if he was 28, absolutely fantastic deal. He's 33. As a fullback, that's going to catch up on you very quickly. Although it's not as physical in Germany, but you get the gist. So, yeah, that's Bayern Munich and apparently their interest there. But it's funny. They're looking to let go of Alphonso Davies, perhaps, and bring in Kieran Trippier, who can play left back, just to say. So, are they related? No idea. No idea. Doesn't look like it on face value, but it might be. So, let me know your thoughts down below there. More news on Calvin Phillips. West Ham United are in discussions over a move for Calvin Phillips. That would, as far as I'm concerned, be a good move for him. That's the sort of level he needs to find himself at. Man City was, I think, just one level above where he operates at his best. He wasn't really given a chance. How can you? You're competing against Rodri. Do you know what I mean? Before that, you were competing against Gundogan. It's not happening. It's just not happening. So, West Ham, that sort of level, it's an upgrade from Leeds, without question. And it's just below the top tier of clubs where he would find his comfort zone, I feel. So that is a club that I feel like would do wonders for him, and I think he'd do well over there. So would be a good move for Calvin Phillips. Let me know your thoughts on that. And tomorrow, Premier League football returns, albeit there's no Chelsea, because it's the next 5 games of the same match day that were played last week. That's happening this weekend. So we do have one team that's playing tomorrow, though, and it's the return of a certain player. Thomas Frank confirms Ivan Toney will start tomorrow versus Nottingham Forest. He will also captain the side. Huge moment for Brentford and him. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. He's back. He's back. I'm looking forward to seeing what sort of impact he's going to have from the get-go. It's going to be an important indicator as to where his level is. So all eyes are going to be on Brentford tomorrow without question to see what Ivan Toney is looking like after that many months out. We'll see. Now they're playing Forest, so you'd expect them to perhaps get a result against Forest. It's probably going to be a good first game back for him. I'll be honest, I don't know why my gut is telling me he's going to score. I'm expecting the Tony goal tomorrow. That's just me, though. I also said Egypt would win 2-0, and they didn't. So, and I said Ivory Coast would beat Nigeria, and they didn't. So, sometimes you get some and you don't get some. It is what it is. So let me know your thoughts down below. Much appreciated. And I will see all of you later on for video number 2. Make sure you guys are there, and we'll see what happens from now up until then. So thank you all so much for watching. Do not forget, hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell to be notified once I've uploaded. Hit the like button if you've enjoyed this. Check out the socials right here and on screen on the description as well. Much appreciated. And I will catch all of you later on for video number 2. Have a good one, people. See you lot then. Take care and peace.